newspaper reporter, and on his deathbed, he admitted to the fact that he completely made it up. Of course, by then, it was much too late for Mrs. O'Leary. She had already passed on a long time before that, and she was basically ostracized by the public and died penniless. But fortunately, the city has officially absolved her and her pal of any wrongdoing. We will probably never really know what started the Great Chicago Fire, but one thing is for sure, the city definitely burnt down. You may be wondering though, if the fire started back over there, well, how did everything over here burn down? And that's because we were basically still a frontier town. We were a big, booming frontier town, but everything was made out of wood. So all of our buildings were made out of wood, sidewalks were made out of wood, and in some cases even our streets were made out of wood. There's also, they had about a 6-month drought, no rain. So it was a tinderbox just waiting to go up. So all it takes is a gentle southwest breeze to pick up an ember, deposit it on the other shore for everything to start to go up. And that's what happened, not once, but twice during the 3 days of the fire. The fire actually jumped the rivers twice. Now I do want to point out 1980s, so that's why I say you're looking at like the ghost of a building, because you're in a sense looking at the past. Next, before it disappears right there, we have that tall Art Deco building with the statue up on top of it. We'll see it again in just a moment. That is the Board of Trade building. The statue up on top is the Roman goddess Ceres. That's where we get the word cereal from. And it's appropriate that she should be on that building because that's where grain futures are traded in the city of Chicago. When that building first went up in the 1930s, it was the tallest building in Chicago. Next, I want to point out to you this gray building with all the balconies on it there. It's another example of postmodernism reflecting its environment. The environment it's reflecting is this roadway right here. This is Congress Parkway. It actually goes right through the post office, and on the other side becomes the Eisenhower Expressway. Car or truck on the road looking up at the building, you're looking at cars and trucks. I say it looks like Morse code. But anyway, next we have this pink granite-clad building right here. It's the tallest building in the world without a formal name. It's simply known by its address, 311 South Wacker Drive. Now, it's affectionately known as the Wedding Cake Building or the White Castle Building. You'll notice up at the top there's a white cylinder right there. And if you'll notice this, the top of the building kind of represents the setting that you might find on an engagement ring. Evidently, when the architect was designing this building, he had just gotten engaged. So the top of the building is meant to be like a setting, and you'll notice